Since the Neolithic era, hundreds of generations lived on Ukrainian lands. There was a continuous process of the transfer of information, knowledge, traditions, mythology, language, and symbolism. This is very critical for every nation and allows people to understand who we are. Over the millennia, the massive amount of information that was passed down from parents to children and grandchildren changed and was supplemented. Who were your great-grandfathers? Do you remember them? Whom should we contact to find the answers? Who was before us on this planet? Who will come tomorrow? What unites us? Is there a connection between us? We will step-by-step delve into the past in order to hold on to the thread that continuously runs through the millennia. So stop, listen, and see the obvious things. First, we need to do a threading and set up a loom in order for it to stand up straight. So that all the details will be able to move freely. In order to do a threading on a loom, first of all, we must attach a thread of the warp on one of its edges to a warper and make such a zigzag. There are a whole lot of different warping devices of various designs. I work on a standard loom that consists of 2 sticks and pins, so I have to run the threads here and there. But earlier, this process was even more difficult. That was when this workshop did not exist and I had to weave at home in one small room. I was moving around the yard. I took rakes, shovels, pitchforks and placed them in the yard, tied them to something and ran around the yard. But this loom is much more convenient, and I do not have to walk around the entire yard. Now I walk 2 meters in one direction and 2 meters in the other direction. So using my warper, I can warp 54 meters of fabric for any loom. After the warping process is finished, I tie all these threads to avoid tangling. Then I braid them in order to comfortably remove them, because each thread is very long. Then I attach them to the loom. If I have previous threading on the loom, then I simply build up the base by knotting them. And if you do it for the first time, this is even more meticulous work, because you need to fix the base right in the center of the loom to avoid shifting either on the right or on the left side. Then you need to thread it through a reel frame, a big hackle on the loom, and thread it through a heddle, in lay terms, the eye of the needle. After that, we tie them equally on a reel. Then we distribute the threads between special hackles, comb them, and reel up.
вже намотали на вал, ми нав'язуємо ниточки основи до полотна.
After we have reeled up the warp, we tie the strings of the thread to metal wires,
І потім дивимося.
and then we stroke it to check out whether the strain is equally spaced.
От, це все одно
We need to check it out constantly. If any thread hangs, we need to fix them again.
ниточка обвисла, треба її поправити. Важливо заткати початку.
To start making a carpet requires weaving the edges of the carpet with the same base in order that the colored threads lay down evenly.
Ниточки кольорові лягали. Потім уже можемо починати.
After that, we can start weaving by using colored wool threads. In order for our carpet to be so sound, dense and beautiful, we weave it by using only 4 threads.
4 нитки. Ну, це все залежить
It also depends on the size and thickness of the thread.
від товщини нитки. От, бо буває,
The threads have to be made of high quality wool and have a beautiful color.
щоб була це справжня вовна і щоб це була гарний колір той, що нам треба. От, і ще такий важливий
And another important point in the weaving process is not to lay a woolen thread straight in the carpet between the warp threads, but in a form of an arc,
щоб нитка
in order that the thread lies freely on the entire width of the cloth.
якщо ми будемо
If we put the colored thread straight, it will tighten the carpet on all sides. The base will be visible, the edges will be ragged, and the carpet will be inaccurate.
буде таке якісне. А воно дійсно, я відчула, що у килимах вони зберігають свою
And indeed, I felt that while weaving, one must put their mood into the carpet. This is my observation.
така, якби моє спостереження. Мама моя
My mother also weaves carpet. She does this for a living and she loves it very much. She says, I can't live without weaving even for one day. And when she makes a carpet, she has good emotions and a good mood when she does this.
от це робить. І, мабуть, вона
So such positive energy is transferred to these threads and remains in them forever.
от, того, що я замітила, я то був
Earlier, I was exhausted from weaving, but all the same I wove. However, I noticed that people paid more attention to those carpets that my mother wove.
от, а мама мені коли
Even if they did not buy them, they at least stroked them, saying, "Oh, your carpets are very beautiful."
стою, дивлюся так.
So I am looking at these people stroking my mother's carpets, but not mine.
Почала підмічати.
Then I realized that when you weave in a good mood, most people respond to this mood.
І люди ідуть, відгукуються на цей хороший настрій. Я думаю, то що я буду ткати, щось думати, хто знає що. От, то я себе так
And I drew a conclusion. I will not think something bad.
вчила. Брат навіть.
And my brother said to me, if you think about something bad, if you have bad thoughts, then this is a bad mood.
То це ж і поганий настрій.
Then nobody knows when your carpets will be bought. But I needed the money, so I made a decision. I like weaving, and I will think good thoughts.
Я люблю ткати. То я, і стараюся я думати про щось хороше. От. А коли вже щось погане,
But if bad thoughts come to me, my brother advised me to pray.
то я це
So while weaving, I often say a prayer.
поки чую, то молитву. Тільки відчуваю, що я вже думаю щось погане.
When I have bad thoughts, I begin to pray. After that, I feel better. And as a result, people also began to pay attention to my carpets. I became more self-confident. I thought, if I'm in such a good mood, I can sell my carpets to people walking down St. Andrew's Descent in Kiev.
Почала я приїжджати з хорошим настроєм на Андріївський узвіз. Килимова казка. Жила колись давно собі мала.
Long ago, one little girl lived on this earth.
Вона була звичайніша
She was an ordinary child. She loved running, singing, and playing games.
співати і грати в ігри.
But most of all, she loved drawing.
Малювати вона любила понад усе. Люди
The people feasted their eyes on her beautiful pictures, and the world joyfully accepted them.
і радісні. Та одного разу кольори зникли. Світ потускнів.
But once the paints disappeared, the world was tarnished and turned into darkness and sadness.
У її був
A magic room with colors was in her house, but the girl was not allowed to come into this room alone, because the path of the flowers was bewitched.
дівчинці самі не дозволяли, бо шлях до кольорів був зачарований. Тільки
Only the Lady of Colors and Wool could lead a child into a fairy tale world.
повний світ. Але була одна умова.
But there was one condition.
Повелителька мала чарівний клубок.
The lady had a magic ball, and a space in that room was tangled with the threads.
Кімнаті. І дівчинка повинна була
And the girl had to explore the path along which the ball rolled and untangle the bewitched color threads.
кольорові нитки. Тільки
Only after that she could find and see the magical colors.
кольори. Багато разів
Many times the little girl started to run after the magic clue, but she got tangled in the threads and came back to the star. Time passed, the girl gained more experience
дівчинка раз за разом
and got a step closer to achieving her dream.
ставала на крок ближче до своєї мрії. І ось одного дня
And then one day some kind of a miracle happened, and the magic ball brought the child to the world of colors.
дівчинка визволила
The girl freed paints from the knots and entanglement.
Вони були такі красиві.
The paints were so beautiful and bright that the girl wanted to create her own magic world from them.
Свій власний чарівний світ. І з того часу
Since then and to this day, she has been weaving her rainbow of thoughts, feelings, and amazing impressions.
почуттів і приємних вражень.
Here is a fairy tale.
Казочка. Для мене килимарство – це
Carpet weaving is my life.
чого я цим займаюся.
Why am I engaged in it? I often have such thoughts. Why am I doing exactly this? And why do I need it?
І на що воно мені? Не знаю.
I don't know. I'm simply happy doing it,
Цього щаслива.
because I strove to this for a very long time. And if someone bereaves me of weaving, it will be impossible to take it away from me.
Це не це.
If in the end it will be necessary, then I am ready, will and able to weave using sticks.
От, але одну
One day my daughter asked me, if you hadn't wove, what would you have done? I said that I would draw. I would draw flowers.
от, все одно б малювала б квіти. От, і все одно б я б знала.
I would find an occupation pleasant for my soul.
І це дуже важливо для кожного із нас.
And it is very important for each of us
Займалася
that a person does what he or she likes.
і це якби нас дає,
This is our way of escaping from troubles. This is the essence of life.
може, це і є наша суть життя, щоб ми робили те, що
Perhaps for this purpose we are on this earth.
ми можемо. Можливо, із-за цього ми і на цій землі.
We develop precisely through what we do.
Те, що ми робимо. Ну так.